The following episode of the Carnival of Randomness is sponsored by an important message to you, the people, from Upsitnik and Associates. Every day there are forces that are taking from you, stealing from you. Your money, your time, your freedom. Immense faceless corporations, banks, credit card companies, insurance providers, government agencies, this list goes on and on. When you are under attack and facing crisis, turn to us, Upsitnik and Associates, attorneys for you, the people. When every day becomes a battle, we can advise and assist. We have been advocates for 40 years. Email us through upsitnikslaw.com or call us at 1-866-391-3299 or reach out to us through Upsitnik and Associates on Facebook for a prompt, no obligation communication and consultation. Don't be pushed around.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Carnival of Randomness. I'm still Rob, I guess, and there's Zach over there. What are you doing, anyways?
I'm sitting here.
You look like you're playing with a pencil or something.
Pen.
A lot of people, Rochester is a lot more than Wegmans and Garbage Place. I always say, I've lived other places. There's everything here if you look for it. You can find science, culture, music, and everything. One of the best things I found, we have Burlesque.
Ta-da!
And it's Bewitched Burlesque Sideshow.
Yes.
Because I cannot pronounce stuff right. I kept thinking it was Bewitching or Bewitched.
As long as you get some kind of alliteration in there, you're fine.
We have a couple of guests from there, and would you like to just say hi?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Pout Provocateur. I'm the headmistress of Bewitched.
And I am Synonymph. I am the mistress of ceremonies and also a performer.
How did this start? How did this go?
Well, I actually started doing burlesque with sirens and stilettos about 6 years ago. And I was looking for something to do that was just a little bit more dark and felt like my style. So we started this when Photo City Improv opened up, and it's been almost 3 years of badass witches and spooky bitches.
And I joined, I think it was about a little over a year ago, and I had been going to the shows for forever. And eventually, over time, Pout was just like, hey, would you mind maybe helping out with the door or, collecting tips? And that turned into an eventual, hey, would you like to be part of the troupe? And, of course, I said, fuck yes. And then, originally, we had Wednesday Westwood, who's now Miss Gay Rochester, hosting. And I think there was a schedule conflict.
She's just so busy now. Mm-hmm. She's doing so great for herself.
Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, I can do some hosting. That's no problem. And eventually the stars aligned. And
I paid a price, though, for the Halloween show at Photo City with all them because I sold my soul to Christy Grimble. I was talking to her, and Corey drew a pentagram on my hand for getting in. And I told Christy, she's like, do I have to sell my soul? She's like, I already own it, dear.
Yeah.
So I'm doomed and everything, but it was well worth it.
She's got a bunch.
Yeah, she's a collector of souls.
So I'm doomed and everything else. But I go back from this. I got interested in this because I'm involved with theater here locally, and we did a show called A Lipstick Massacre, which was back in 2010, which was loads and loads of fun. And we had Pandora Box, we had Kasha, and we went to Tilt afterwards. And I'll never forget my drunken conversations with Kasha about which are better, dogs or cats. But this was Pandora took off.
Yeah.
And I really got into this, and I realized we have a very good culture of this here.
We do.
Yeah, we have a very diverse performer atmosphere in Rochester.
Yeah, and the art scene here in general, whether it is, drag or burlesque or theater, it is amazing. And a lot of people really need to get into it more.
And the local music scene.
Yeah,
the most annoying thing I see on Facebook is when people are like, the music scene's dead here, no one comes.
I can speak. I'm like one of the patron saints of promoting music around here. I know everybody, and I try to get everybody on here. And I try to tell people, I've lived, not just attest to myself, I used to live in Alexandria. I had friends who've lived in Georgia, and they will say, I had a friend who lived in Georgia, and it's a big city. It's a very good city. I'm not knocking it at all, especially the weather.
I'll knock it.
But I won't. I actually it's nice. And I've had one of my friends who lives down there says, you wouldn't want to come back. But maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't. But one thing I have heard, he'll say, what did you do this week? Well, I could have gone to this, done this, done this. What was playing down there? Nothing.
Yeah. I noticed that when you go to other cities too, obviously Buffalo has a lot of stuff going on, but I'll end up in Syracuse sometimes. And unless I go specifically to find a thing, I'm going to end up at some bar where there's nothing going on. Because I'm so used to being able to be like, out doing something whatever night of the week I want in Rochester. There's always some band
The
playing.
one thing
or some
about
cool
Buffalo,
thing.
they have sometimes I think they have a lot more like mid-level acts and bigger acts. Unless
Yeah.
that skip us, I'm actually going to go see the Jayhawks there.
Awesome.
Unless it's a snowstorm, so
Well,
that's just
well.
terrible. And I was just up there to see Nick Lowe and my friends, Straight Jackets, and they bypassed us somehow, like Santa they didn't. But the one thing I've asked a lot of bands that I've known that have come here and played here, and I asked them where would you go play there, and they said they do a lot more house shows than us there.
Yeah. I do love our local scene here. There's something really comfortable and great for me about going out and knowing I'll have friends out. I'll see people I know. It's always the same passionate, awesome people who I want to be around. And then getting to see them do, like, 4 different bands over 15
Well, there's
years
a Rochester.
and grow.
There's a requirement when you come here, you're in a band, you have to sign over a contract in blood that says you can't just do one band.
Yeah, no.
No, you have to be in multiple.
You know, my friend, like Tommy Francis, my
Yeah.
friend, he's a friend here.
Tommy.
It's like
It's like
we could
4
do
or
it 6
5.
degrees of Tommy.
Yeah, Jesus
because-
Christ. When he starts rambling off his stuff, I tune out halfway
Oh
through.
my god! I knew Tommy back when we were in school together, and he was with Wilksey and Crump at the time. And now, over like a period of years, just seeing him and like, he's got the Bobs, he's got Straight Johnny, he's got the Grease Creepers,
Big Bertha.
yeah,
Big
Big
Bertha,
Bertha. It like. And Straight Johnny, no, not Straight Johnny. We were fortunate enough to go with Straight Johnny, but we also had the Grease Creepers for our Halloween show.
Yeah.
We've had them both on for our shows, actually.
Yup.
Yeah, if I was there, I was there.
So the music in burlesque.
I must say, I appreciate the tribute to Sid Haig.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
I really do.
Thank you. Yeah.
That is, Zach, you missed that because you came up with the Captain Spaulding makeup,
Yup.
and Sid passed away, and everybody really, from what I've read, everybody thought he was just a fantastic man.
He
Yeah.
was a good person, like an actual good person.
Very
Not like
sweet guy.
assumed Hollywood goodness.
What's the funny thing about horror film stars, if you read about a lot of them, in real life, they're the nicest people.
Oh, yeah. I mean, how could you not? That sounds so fun. Like,
Well, you hope you're not like this, don't you like clowns, boy, and killing thousands of people and stuff.
Fruity fucking fruity.
Oh, I've been thinking. What happened was I wanted to look on his website after he passed away to see if they wrote a memoriam, and they have Tutti fucking Fruity shirts, and they're sold out for now.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Rob Zombie's got a way with words. I got to tell you, those are some of the most interesting dialogues of horror movies.
Did you ever
but
have you seen Three
don't
from
forget
Hell?
it. I haven't seen 3 from Hell yet, but I did just watch something that came out a couple years ago called 31.
Yes.
And I didn't know it was a Rob Zombie movie when I put it on. So about like 25 minutes in, I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is amazing, but holy shit, it's messed up.
It's got the mean little dwarf person, and then it's got the guy in hell. There's no. Everybody loves popcorn.
I think they said that they wanted to fuck the victims like 25 times in that movie. Like, it was so brutal in the dialogue, but I loved it. It was great.
He's got a way. See, I always say I'm a fan of his movies, and what I do like is they seem like he really knows his stuff, and he has his own style. But I could tell you, if you've seen Devil's Rejects, House of a Thousand
yeah.
Corpses, 3 from Hell might be nastier.
Oh,
I mean, it's that. It's got luchador assassins.
Oh, I'm ready.
But it's really, really nasty.
I do have a good joke from you from 31.
Yes.
What's the difference between a whore and an onion?
Uh.
I cry when I cut an onion.
Yes, that's why you have to do my birthday party.
I mean, we are for hire.
I do think the whole idea that, though, I've been thinking of this myself in this age. We're so uptight about things. People are so worried about things. Everybody, you're on this side or that side. What the concept of just having fun and letting loose, and I think you provide that in a lot of ways. It's just got to be fun to do what you do.
Yeah, we try to bring a little bit of dark humor along, and kind of, sometimes we're a little mean to the audience, and they love it.
I love to
Well, you
hear
say
that.
to do because I remember you say just if you don't want to be messed with, you do everything.
Yup.
Yeah.
We make that very clear in the beginning of our shows. I'll
don't.
always ask if we have fresh meat.
Yeah.
And we'll get some hands raised, and I'll tell them, listen, we are performing for you. We will come out and probably interact with you guys a bit. Don't fucking touch us.
Yeah.
Well, this goes back to me years ago when we used to go to the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And everybody, and they used to have the Panorama Trail, they used to have a theater there, and you would always go in, you would know, if you were a Rocky person, you knew exactly which theater to go in. But of course, what they would always ask, is anybody a virgin?
Yeah.
Because then they would have, like, Janet come and sit on them
Right.
and everything. And
You
I
gotta
remember,
bring them into the fold.
yeah.
Peg them.
I still am renowned for that, for doing the time work, being drunk and falling into the coffin, but I never got arrested.
sounds about right.
The thing they would do is the person in the day when I was there, there's a book called Midnight in the Lost and Found, I guess somebody wrote. It's like a chapbook. I'd love to find it. And what they would do is they go to Perkins after. You just had to go because he would come. You look just like Tim Curry. He'd come all dressed up. I mean, whoever it was, I don't know his name, but he was. You would think it was almost a young Tim Curry. And they would come, but he would just be eloquent about one hot fudge sundae a la mode, and be all dressed up regally as Frankenfurter. But were those some of your influences? How did you actually think, wow, I want to do this?
Well, some of my influences are drag queens as well, and like really over-the-top campy characters, over-the-top campy movies.
You have to be a John Waters fan.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Did you see him when he did his Christmas show here?
No, I wish.
Oh, then, in the end, him, Divine, everybody else are going to be buried at a place in Baltimore, and they're going to call it Disgraceland.
Oh, I love that.
And then for me, I started off as a theater kid, like in high school.
Me too.
So, I mean, because that had a big impact on me. And then, of course, horror movies growing up, because I'm a horror fanatic, like the bloodier the better. And then, like Pat was saying, drag queens, a lot of the local scene here, like...
Yeah, there's so much to be inspired around. And starting in childhood musical theater, too, really opens your doors to,
It's amazing how long drag queens have had a foothold here, though, because when I was in college, which was like in the 1920s, I think, sometimes these days, but we would go down to the Liberty, and they would have the drag shows all the time. So this has been going on for decades.
Oh, we're a big, beautiful, gay city. I
Yes,
love
we
it.
are.
I saw a drag show when I was at U of R, so this would have been 2002, 2003 maybe.
They used to have him at Mother's, too.
Oh, Mothers.
R.I.P. Mothers.
Hey, remember Pandora Box?
I've seen her a couple times.
Well, there was a bar called that, too.
Oh,
And then, we also have an amazing drag king scene here, too.
yeah, we do. And they're a little less advertised.
See, that's the thing, actually. We were talking about this. I admit, I've been involved in this culture for a long time. I used to go to I've known the culture, a lot of pride parades. I've actually done things with the theater, the thing that I can't even remember, the Film Fest, Image Out.
Yeah.
And I had never heard the term drag king before.
Really?
Yeah, we actually have an awesome troupe called Boys Night Out, and they do like a monthly show at the Firehouse, and they're just absolutely amazing. They've been doing it as long as I've been doing burlesque or longer. I know we had shows with them when I was doing Sirens and Stilettos, and they're just absolutely fucking phenomenal people, and they do really good things too. Like they work with the Out Alliance and actually do some fundraising. They're freaking great.
That's why. Do you ever get the crazies like who protest stuff or anything?
Well, of course,
Not
because
yet,
these
but I
people
wish.
know.
I wish. I'll tell you a good story about that.
They'll find you.
My friend Missy played in the Pride band during the things, and they would have to get these characters. They'd be down by the Little, having these signs like "Burn in Hell, fags" and "Jesus loves you." So what they would do to them, and I love this. They used to go and play the theme from Mickey Mouse Club at them.
Well, I low-key hope that we get one of them that shows up, because I have a
I could
bunch of-
organize it if you want, just to have like some protesters for
I
fun.
just get people who are feisty on the bathroom walls but can't
Yeah.
say anything to anyone's faces.
They have that.
Because there's people with something to complain about, and I really do think the idea of you're just having fun. It's an outlet. I enjoy it.
Right.
A lot of people are just too
Uptight.
uptight. Yep, they got to stick up their butt.
Yeah, and they're
Or
so
they don't.
deep.
Maybe that's their problem.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, and then I think also is that maybe they're just plain fucking scared, which is absolutely no excuse.
Well, I think
but-
they're not happy
yeah.
in their own life. My view on this is
Exactly.
always they're unhappy because they followed the script or whatever they did in life. They're not happy and they can't see people having fun or whatever else. Like the old Easy Rider thing about, they can't stand you because you're doing that kind of thing.
Oh,
But one
yeah.
thing I was going to ask in terms of your characters, do you collaborate with each other? Do you really come up with your own ideas?
We do our own routines, but we do a lot of talking through it with our sisters and siblings and the troupe, and like it is collaborative, but a lot of times it's just helping our minds work things out.
because one of us might not be able to figure something out, and we'll go in the group chat and we'll be like, hey, I have this idea. What do y'all think? And someone will suggest, well, maybe you should try X, Y, and Z. And you'll be like, oh, I didn't think about that. That's a great idea.
Yeah. We
Well,
try
I mean,
to
I think
provide
that's
interesting
important. I mean,
themes, too.
really, I just think what I'm going to do on here, I don't ask you really, Zach. But I think a lot of people sometimes they get, well, I'm going to do this, and they get a little bit where they don't want anybody to tell them. But when you open up and you let people, like in a band, I've known a lot of people in bands, well, I write the songs, I do the music, and they get really sort of anal about it. But then all of a sudden they let the other people in the band collaborate with them and bring in their ideas. And, you always miss something. You're always like, this person brings another perspective.
Right.
Though I still have to complain, I've told everybody again, that candy cane witch. Ugh.
Hey,
Corn.
hey, candy corn.
For
People
candy
love
corn.
candy corn.
Yeah.
I just,
No, they
it
don't.
freaked me out, okay? See, now
No
I have
one,
my
no one in
phobias.
the history of humanity loves candy corn.
Oh, they got the flavored ones now, though. They're pretty
Yeah,
good.
they were all made in 1934, and the minions go out to the dumpsters and collect the thrown away candy corn, wash it, and put
Brock's,
it back in
if
the
you
bags.
must. Brock's, I guess, is pretty good.
No, I won't.
But Lilith put on a fantastic
She
routine.
did, but it
was really
scared
cute.
me.
Oh my god.
the hat, everything, the candy corn.
A candy
thing of the
corn
whole
witch
show.
scared you,
Yes.
but a chainsaw wielding maniac who turned out to be Captain Spaulding didn't.
Oh, no, not at all. It's like any horror movie. Kill the people, don't kill the animals, though. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Agreed.
We've seen some of. You should come on one of our horror film things and talk about it. Because, we have
Oh,
lots
Jesus.
of those, but
Those
I don't
are,
think you could stoop to some of the stuff we've talked about.
Nope.
I
You
don't know.
underestimate me.
No.
My tattoo shop just did Scarecon, too, and I prepared pretty heavily for that.
No, we're talking when Litvak is literally cracking out the gems that make Ilsa She-Wolf of the SS look like Oscar winners.
That movie, it's so
No,
good.
I'm talking make that look like Oscar winners.
Hey, I'm always
they're-
down.
I want that list so I can watch
yeah,
it.
I need to see this. Yeah, we're gonna have a.
We gotta.
I'll just watch all the
Nice.
D-list
That's
horror.
another thing I think we actually have very good in this town is actually ink shops and everything. And how talk about that? We can promote that.
Oh,
Obviously.
I work at Vigilante Tattoo. I do think we have a wonderful tattoo community. However, because New York State doesn't have laws, we have too much tattoo community. It's a little oversaturated, and it makes it hard to find exactly the artist you want for a specific style, or for reasons to what am I trying to say here? It's hard to find artists with reputable reputations because there are so many artists. Where would you even begin to look to compare them to
And I
each
think
other?
people don't like. For me, I'm just afraid of needles, so I just am so phobic of needles that I couldn't. But
You know,
if somebody
I
came in,
hate,
if somebody
getting a
came in here and
vaccine.
said, "I'm thinking of getting this," you don't have to only say. I mean, you probably have to see if something. It's almost if you see it, it'll be right for you. If you have any like his stuff
Yeah.
there, he actually
a.
Yo,
he picks like different ones I think are interesting.
I
but-
get weird shit.
Hey,
The
nothing wrong
weirder
with
the
weird.
better. Oh, I love this one.
That's fucking
I got my
awesome.
bearded skeleton. I got my sugar skull.
Aw,
Yeah, I've seen
I
these
love With the
gold
particular
tooth.
pieces before.
I love that.
I think they're on social media.
Yeah, Zane from Love Hate did
Yeah.
this
Yep.
one and that one.
And I think it's a nice little culture that I don't know a heck of a lot about. So
Yeah, we're actually they're working on setting up a secondary tattoo expo in Rochester, which we're thinking might have a little bit more different styles because the Rock City Expo, although it is great, has a lot of American traditional, so much of it. So they're working on the Flower City Tattoo Expo. It's supposed to be next October,
Oh, good.
and I
that's
think
something I could go on because I love learning new things, and so many of my friends are so into, and they do. I think it's what they do is very good when it's not just I just want to get this because I got it. There's always something behind it, or it's like, wow, that's really cool.
or the art is just so awesome when you see it, and you're like, I need
need to
it.
have-
I have to have it.
Needs to go
Yeah.
running now.
Or like the Johnny Depp thing where we had Winona Forever, they broke up and he had Wino
Wino
Forever.
forever.
Don't they say just put your parents or your kids on there? No.
Yeah, people that
If
are
you're
never
gonna get a
going to not be
name,
related
it better
to
be
you.
your parents or your kid.
Yeah,
Or a
they're
pet.
always going to be related to you.
Yeah.
And always in
Someone
your
you're
life.
not going to hate. I got to tell you, I got like 3 different tattoos with relationships and none of those men in my life.
Oops.
Put like a cross out on him, a cross out on him.
And nope.
At least they're all stylistically
Who does?
pretty
Do you
cool.
do your own costumes? Then you have somebody else.
Yeah, we
like
make
that?
our
own
You do?
costumes.
Wow, how did you get into doing that? It's just like amateur.
One
You
step
guys
at a
learn?
time. You start with hot glue and then you work your way up.
I actually used to crochet. That's about as far as my skills go.
That's
Like that.
awesome.
That's dope.
I used to do crocheting because it relaxed me, and I would
Yeah.
sit there and I made bunch of Afghans. Not the dogs, the rugs.
I always see like awesome crochet patterns. Like I bought a little crocheted Cthulhu doll at the Staricon. It's freaking amazing.
Are we all Cthulhu fans here?
Yes.
We're all like,
Lovecraft forever.
Yep. And then I think, well, with me, I've always just fucking loved Halloween. And I've always loved being able to be, like, to just dress up.
Right.
Like, I'm that kind of nerd who will try and do the quote-unquote everyday cosplay, where it's like you're low-key dressing up as someone and, like, no one will know.
Yeah.
And, this, Bewitched just gave me an opportunity to be able to build those costumes. I think, because for our Halloween show, my first Halloween show, I was Bride of Frankenstein. And, of course, as y'all know, she has, like, the major fucking hair.
Oh, man,
now,
that hair.
if you've seen me, you will know I also have hair. So
Right, but to get it to stand
it
like
came
that.
down to me taking and cutting out a empty soda bottle, one of those liter ones, and sticking it in the middle of my fucking hair.
I was going to say, it's either that or a hell of a lot of Aquanet.
And making
It'd take years.
oh my god, I don't even want to think about that. But like, just the shit like that people will come up with on the fly.
it's amazing, too, because I still have a thing where that's why I do shows like this, or I write, or I do behind-the-scenes promotion, because I don't think I could get up and do anything in front of people. I tell my friends in bands and theater that and everything, you just roll when you do it, just...
Well, when you start with us, generally you start doing little things in front of the crowd, like we call them stage kittens. They come and they pick up all the panties. And like crowd kittening where you get the tips or like help with the door. And over time, it really builds up your confidence to do more. Well, we've had a couple of kittens now grow up to become full-time dancers with the troupe, and it's just lovely to see them like come into themselves. I know they're babies.
Yep.
Because a lot of times I tell myself I'm among friends because I seem like I know like 80% of the people out.
Yeah.
And I would do things like for one of the film festival, just handing people, well, vote on this. And like, do I get it free? No, just vote on it.
Yeah.
Some old lady comes up, asks me for an autograph.
They're like, oh, okay, sure.
I was going to sign Tony Stark or something.
Like-
she had an autograph book and us up to, she wanted us all to sign it. And I thought it was just so cute. So I could say I have been asked for an autograph.
That's adorable.
Like, I just the other day had my first fan art made for me, and I'm like, holy shit, really?
I think that's actually cool when you have you've actually made an impression so much that somebody...
I shudder to think what fan art of me would look like.
Well,
Who knows? It might be an improvement.
hey.
And I go back to the idea of Halloween, which just passed us by. I think the idea still is you can just be anybody you want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's why one of the appeals of punk music for me, when you hear it, you can do anything. You can be whatever. You might just be mild-mannered. And that's, again, going back to drag queens. Most of the ones I've met, when they're not on stage, they're the shyest people you've ever, the ones I've known.
It
Then they just
depends,
let
you
go.
know, some
Well,
of them are punk as hell too.
the ones I know for mostly, like I know a few of them that they're very demure, but then some are punk as hell, which I think is
Yeah.
great.
I personally love just the culture of punk. I really empathize with the idea that punk is being implicitly yourself. No apologies. It's not like a specific style. Or
It's not a
like
fashion
That's what I was
statement.
talking about,
Yeah.
like the years ago, going to the Bug Jar when I first found it. You would go in, there'd be people in business suits and people. Nobody ever fucked with anybody or anything else. And I've always told everybody, I go to a variety of shows. I still consider, maybe you punks won't like to hear this, but you're the nice people I feel at home with.
Oh yeah.
I do though. Everybody, I mean, I've gone to shows where there's these assholes getting into fights and everything. If there's anybody ever gotten into a fight at a punk show, it's some dude we've never seen before.
Some dude
Well, plus him and his clowns.
That was not my fault.
Oh, we got a story here.
Yeah, go
It
on.
was the giant fat guy who decided to mosh directly back into me.
Oh.
And in between, and he ended up stepping on my foot several times.
Ew.
And this was in Cleveland we were seeing the Necromantics.
That's awesome.
And we were
One
with
of
this.
Bauman just saw King Diamond
we
there.
were with tiny little girl who was at the show, and you could tell she was kind of getting forced back against the wall. So I step in front of her because this guy made me look small.
Oh, Jesus.
There's always that one wrecking ball
Yeah,
asshole.
and
in the
he
crowd.
just kept backing up, and I saw it coming. Like, yeah, this is not going to end well. So
I'm a pit bomb at shows generally.
yeah, so I basically shoved him out of the way, grabbed her. We went outside just to get space, but Like, Jesus Christ, man.
Oh, I've had some like the.
It's like, if you're a big guy, you should have spatial awareness. Like, I know where I am at all times.
Yeah,
There's
no,
always
you gotta
one,
know your
though,
size.
Sometimes there's always, but as a whole, I think they're still the nicest. I've been to concerts where there's fights, and you would think it's probably somebody just frustrated with life.
I basically grew up at the Penny Arcade. Been going to shows and stuff since I was like 13. It's actually how I met Corey. But I've taken,
Hi, Corey.
I've
I'm friends with Corey, so
yeah, I've taken a couple elbows to the face at being my height, and you kind of learn the dance of the duck and the like watching your
I saw
face, the dodge
I
and
saw
weave.
Slayer at Penny Arcade. They had these people. They had these dudes there in hoods, like the Satan hoods.
The biggest act I saw there was Guar, and I gotta tell you, there wasn't enough space for Guar at the Penny
No,
Arcade.
they need an arena.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Did you
but
get
holy
splattered?
shit. Oh yeah,
Of course.
I also saw them at Water Street, like back in the day when it was all original lineup. Guar was amazing.
I wanted to see because I lived in Alexandria. I never found it, but I think they live near there. Like they live in Virginia. They have a compound.
Yeah, the Guarbecue.
What?
They have the Guarbecue every year.
Oh God,
Yeah, they're somewhere in
how do we
Virginia.
get an invite to that?
Well, Anne Rice's Halloween. You could just go to hers. Maybe you
gotta
can do
top
the
this
same
up.
thing. They're maybe on their website.
Yeah.
I know there's somewhere, I can't remember where in Virginia, it's like somewhere in central Virginia is where they kind of all hang out. But yeah, every summer they have the Guarbecue.
Well,
I
I
wish
know
that-
what we're
the
doing
thing
next
was,
summer.
Yep.
When we were kids, Penny Arcade had this mystique to it. Is like really, and I used to go. The only thing was, you tried to act cool when your parents are dropping you off and picking you up.
Yeah,
And they we're bad. It's
Bye,
Mom,
Mom.
gonna
Bye,
be here."
Dad.
And I always used to
go.
say, like, the bikers would be down there. Nobody can look tough eating ice cream, and they'd
No,
yell down.
no, you
And the only
can't.
time I ever almost got in trouble, there was one concert there. I got shoved into this guy, and in my memory, he looked like a 600-pound roadie for ZZ Top. And all he said was, "Don't push, man." I was like,
I'm like, sorry.
and the only event there was when Motorhead played there. Somebody was getting thrown out every 8 minutes.
I
That's
believe it.
Motorhead.
Yeah.
Yeah, but literally it's like
What
every.
was so great about the Penny Arcade is you'd have these like really big acts, like
Just play there.
shit you'd never expected. Crappy dive bar down by the beach.
Overkill, Quiet Riot.
But then you'd also have like the local underage shows. Like they had a real place for us to be as kids. There was an actual punk scene.
In all ages show.
Yeah, an all ages
Yeah.
shows there. I mean, we were still doing stuff at the park and lodges and dumb shit like that.
well,
but
the
it
punk
was
rock
great.
picnics and everything that Will
Oh
has.
yeah, Punk's Picnic
And
is
we-
my favorite event
Yep.
of the year.
Yeah, Will's a big. If you don't know Will Carroll, who always
wow.
complains about.
Yes.
Well, he always complains about this show. We're good friends. He always says it's too early, man. Like, come on, I can
He
get you
does
on
a
it like
show at
dude.
midnight.
I know, yeah, that's the thing. It's like
Midnight
Will
till
opened by
1 a.m.
midnight, but he's a great guy.
Yeah,
He
we
does a
did
heck
their
of a lot.
Their
for-
show a while back. I absolutely love Will.
I think it's time to refresh that.
I know it's been some time. We should go back.
Just not now.
Well, not right now. But Will, wake
give it
up
some
early one day.
months.
Come on. That's the problem with some of my friends on here, though. It's like, when do you tape? Oh, dude, that's too early. It's what do you want me to do? Like, we'll come to you.
Yeah, they're all still like just getting to bed a few hours ago.
I don't do that anymore, though. I used to, now I'm bemoaning if a show goes on. It used to go on in the old days. It wouldn't start till 1 o'clock now.
I really hate seeing the sun when it first comes up. Yeah. You can't be friends at that point in time. Later in the
Yes.
day.
But now you're sort of you have a cool attitude toward Christmas. You sort of like say screw it, right?
Yeah, I just there's not enough Christmas music that I'm gonna like.
Christmas with the Devil, maybe by Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
Christmas in Hollis.
Like there's a few, but I just when I used to do shows with my other troupe, it was more. They have a much more classy burlesque, rhinestones, feathers, the whole thing, and I always struggled around Christmas time, Christmas and St. Patty's Day because there's just it's hard. It's just hard.
Well, you're
to
gonna be a
do.
little drunken leprechaun or something.
I ended up doing gin and juice and took green in the other direction.
That's one way to fucking do it. See, creative problem solving. That's what.
Right. But when we made this troupe, we decided we were going to try to do something that also didn't conflict with other troupes. So it's great. We do after Christmas show at the end of the month, and we just do like breakup songs with the year. We just break up with whatever year it is.
I think
Are
that's
you
a
saying
very good
relationships
idea.
don't last forever?
What?
You do like New
Love
Year's
is a
Eve.
myth.
Actually, mentioning that is like New Year's Eve.
We do a little before New Year's Eve, because no one wants to be performing on New Year's
No.
Eve. We all want to be drinking, too.
Hell no.
I try to avoid. I go to one friend's party. She has it now. And
I don't leave the
otherwise,
house.
I try to avoid.
stays home.
Yep, I don't
Yeah.
leave the house. It's amateur night.
Yeah, that's probably safest, too.
And actually, one of my friends said that because he's on tour. My friend Sean, he's on tour with his band King Buffalo, and he was
that's
telling me,
great.
yeah, I actually have his CD here, his other one, because he wants to be on here, but he's touring. And what he told me, he's playing next week. I'm gonna go see him.
Oh, shit.
And he's told me, he's like, yeah, we tour, but then there's so much over the holidays. It's
Yeah.
like there's just so much. Just everybody's stressed out. There's
It's a
so
tough
much
time.
to do. It's. And then
Yeah.
in January, nobody has any money.
That's the cycle.
Right. And it's just like, it takes some level of being put together to put on a show. And I got to tell you, New Year's Eve, I want to have champagne too.
Yes.
And not have to, like, make sure that drunk guy over there isn't being too much.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
And they're always too much on New Year's Eve. I don't know what it is about
It's
that
people
holiday.
just try
Like I say,
too
it's
hard.
amateur
It's
night.
not.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's that, the day before Thanksgiving, St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, yeah.
Cinco
Halloween
de
to some
Mayo.
extent, some places, unfortunately. 'Cause
Sometime
I used to do
Halloween,
doors
yeah.
at a bar. They used to
Cinco de
do that.
Mayo is a bad one for all the frat boys that think it's somehow
Oh, yeah, they're cute.
a Mexican Independence Day.
Oh, honey.
Yeah,
It's,
that's great.
that's,
honey.
I think, in what, August or September?
Yeah.
Actual Mexican Independence
Hey, it's a
Day.
moment.
Yeah.
It's the reason to get blasted, you know, when
Yeah.
you get to
We
do.
Last year on Cinco de Mayo, I was walking down at East Alexander. I just was passing it to go to Riot Room. So some of our friends too. And I see this girl just take off her sombrero and start puking into it. And I was like,
Ole!
okay, it's like 3 in the afternoon. Like,
And you do stuff a lot with bands, because I remember, again, when Straight Johnny had their album release at Spirit Room, you were there.
yeah, we did go for them. That was an awesome time. It's a little tight for us.
And I have to say, though, if you saw the album, too, what other band ever released their album between two pieces of bologna?
Right.
Yeah. Straight Johnny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tommy does our D&D specials, too, so.
We had them at Bewitched show once too, and they're just so much fun to work with. I think that their style and our style goes so well.
Oh, I think so
together.
perfectly. How'd you find each other? Just like word of mouth around here, really?
Going to shows?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all. That's how I know everybody. I just
Yeah.
found, oh, you know me, yeah. I was like one of my friends, like, oh yeah, you don't know me, do you? Oh yeah, I know you are.
Oh, yeah, you're so-and-so's friend.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
I
you're
booked
cool.
them when I was working for a different tattoo shop. We had a Halloween party, and that was the first time we booked them. And for whatever reason, the party sort of like wasn't terribly big, but they still played anyway. We got the cops called on us twice by the neighbors, and I was like, this is the
This old bitty.
friendship made in hell,
Yup.
and I love it.
And they
It's
always,
great.
plus they're very theatrical. Like
Oh,
Tommy's
they're
always
so fun.
wearing his drag
Yes.
things or his.
And we like having them with the different bands too, because you get a different feel from Grease Creepers and Straight Johnny. You know, they were perfect. Grease Creepers over the.
I love
Halloween
Grease
show.
Creepers. I love how they come out of the grave. They came out of the grave twice this year.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And we
And
were
they
one of
did
them.
it.
Yeah, they're coming back next year.
I
We're
mean, one
doing
of
it
my
again.
friends, I had to help to the car after she fell down the stairs and was a bit tipsy. But
Oh,
that's
yes.
partying, dude. That's partying.
Yeah.
I love it. But that's great. That's the kind of night.
Hey, we always have a first aid kit on
And
hand.
plus,
we learned our
also, you
lesson.
do a lot more than burlesque. You have a lot of art stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do. We get a lot of awesome vendors who come into our shows, and we absolutely love having them because we can waste and spend our money we just made that night on cool things.
Yep. Like
Like a pink and yellow fur coat that I
Yeah.
got one time.
yeah, like that's
Who
one thing
you
I
killed a Muppet for a coat?
Sure did.
listen.
At least
Tough
two.
times call for tough measures.
Well,
But we like to keep the art community and
And there's always a bunch of vendors there, and they're always the stuff. The problem is, again, it's like, oh, there goes my wall. It's just,
Right.
that's exactly why we do it.
Yep.
Because
Because we want to get cool art too.
we want to get cool
We just
art,
bring it to us.
and we want the vendors to be. We want people to recognize their work and
Yeah.
have the opportunity to network.
We've
that's what I
always
try
been
to do
pretty big
here.
on community for Bewitched because we really think there should be more bridging the gaps between the music performers and the artists and the community that we could
well,
have
great.
together
Look
to be better.
look at what happened before you guys came on air.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, talk to the Science Center lady.
Well, that's what
Lord
we
knows
try
what's
to
about
do
to
on
happen.
here because I know people from so many different things. I try to bring them together and say, talk to this person. And we
Yeah.
try to promote it. And I keep saying, there's tons of stuff. Tell me you don't have something to do. Like somebody will come to me, well, what kind of music? You're like, go to this. You like this?
There's
go to
always
this.
something going
Try
on.
something different. Try this. I
Yeah.
think you'll like it.
And they have those like metal shows sometimes now at the Record Archive.
Metal
which, like,
Meltdown.
tickles me to death because like I just remember the Record Archive in that tiny little house one.
I remember that.
Remember
Oh,
that?
yeah. I remember that record archive.
Oh, before the
I used
T-Rex.
to. I used to see bands down there too, years and years ago. And all of a sudden, I told friends when they played there, "You'll never play on a stage like that. A chandelier and a
Oh
T-Rex."
my god, it's so awesome.
One
Yeah.
of the coolest spots, like low key. If there's ever like if I'm ever out on a date, like a first date, I'll be like, let's go to the Record Archive.
They have a bar
They have a bar.
Plus, it's
with
fun.
music themed beer.
Exactly.
It's that. Plus, it's like a fun little carnival of something. You know,
Oh, yeah.
all the weird little things besides the music, all the weird little knickknacks, and all the
I
strange.
bought
little...
many a Christmas gift there
Yeah,
Oh,
same.
yeah.
for people.
Support local.
Dick Storms has really put together a wonderful business, and
Ask
I
Dick
absolutely
about
love it.
when he roadied for Quicksilver. He loves to tell his story. He always loves it. He used to roadie for Quicksilver Messenger Service. He'll talk your ear off.
I'm gonna go for it next
Yes.
time I see him.
Yes.
I actually went to high school with his daughter, and then worked at the Little Theater Cafe for some years. So they would have their band, the Public Market Band, come play, and it was like it was cute. It was full circle. It was like seeing someone's dad like be really awesome. Not to mention we get in the record suit when we were kids and stuff. At the
Yeah.
house. Like
That's the thing, because we have all these things around here, which I think is really neat. Do you have, like, you should pick, like, a weird day to do, like, an Arbor Day special or one of those. Or, like, some obscure. There's all those weird, made-up days, like Jelly Donut Day, or what's a good one recently?
Well, today is National Baklava Day. November
hey.
You know,
as we
have a
record this, it's
celebration of
November
one
the
of these
17th.
things.
we should just do a Rochester-themed show and do jingles from all the various old businesses.
Yes. Someone needs to do the Celino and Barnes jingle.
Oh my god.
Oh, jeez.
And then have it turn into a breakup with Celino and
Put
Barnes.
Alexander and Catalano to like a polka beat.
Yeah. If you did Selena and Barnes, you'd have to have eyebrows as part of your costume and,
And a
peel
ball
them
cap.
off.
Oh, I can't get it out of my head now.
You're welcome.
Not sponsored by any of these law firms, and probably never will be,
No.
but that's okay.
We have our own law firm.
That's
Worry
true.
Do
about
not
it.
approve
It's,
this
it's, the,
message.
it's the other Celino and Barnes.
The Bellino and Sarns.
Yeah, there you go.
Come on,
That would
see?
be good. Do old jingles from all. The only thing I don't hear, speaking of archive, I'll hear it on the radio every now and then, but I never hear the commercials with Dick as the record
Oh my
flying
god.
across.
And it's still inside my brain.
Who's the name of Record City? Record Archive.
Get cash for DVDs at Record Archive.
The record archive is a place to go.
Yeah. They had great jingles.
They
You
had
catch them on the
amazing
radio
jingles.
every now and then, but you never see the commercials.
Never
it must be
see
like
it,
late
yeah.
night.
YouTube.
Like, I
I'll bet you
remember-
they're on YouTube somewhere.
I guess it's kind of because TV is a dying media.
And then I
Versus
remember like, when I was a
radio.
kid
Yeah.
seeing one of the House of Guitars commercials for like Christmas.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
And that has like been implanted in my
They
brain.
had that same commercial forever.
ever. It has been implanted
one
in my
that's, like,
brain for the past like
It's sort of like
20 years.
claymation-y.
Yep.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
you have now, I have to ask this like one of those sort of nebulous, stupid questions. But okay, you don't have budget constraints or anything. What would be like a dream sort of costume you might kind of think of doing? You'd like to really perform.
Oh man.
Oh man, I would love to get the whole get up to be an alien from Mars Attacks, but it just seems like it would take me a long time to figure that out.
I tell you what, I would love to see the loader suit from the Sigourney Weaver used in Alien.
Yo.
So I
That would
actually
be
have a
pretty boss.
chest burster that I was going to do a pregnant routine with, but it didn't turn
Got to
out.
do a pregnant nun.
Yeah, but I got Seriously Disgusting Comics is an artist around here, and he made me this awesomely gross chest burster that is made out of like a tube and some plaster and God knows what else. And
Probably best we don't know what else.
right, it's amazing. I have to get pictures taken with it before this baby pops out. It's so gross.
I have an idea. You can run with it if you want. You don't have to. Not Drella. This is Lou Reed and John Cale used to call Andy Warhol Drella. It was a combination of Dracula and Cinderella.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Okay, I'm down for that.
We should do a monster mix.
Monster Mash.
Disney monsters.
Bruh. I'd be down
Oh,
for
you
that.
could. The mouse would come after you, probably. Though they're so.
I mean, the
Yeah.
mouse is after everybody these
We don't
days.
talk about the mouse. The mouse listens.
The mouse owns everything.
We're talking about Stuart Little for the record.
Did you go
here.
into comic book stuff at all, really? Or
Sometimes we do. We try to stick away from themes that have been done a lot.
that's done too
So-
much
done
these
so.
days.
Zombies, comic books, it's all been done to death.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we try to do more specific things. We've done cult classics a few times, and now we're kind of more on we did a Tarantino show. We might go and do a Robert Rodriguez show.
Also, like old Grindhouse shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Love that. We tried to do a really specific theme and did Jim Henson's The Labyrinth.
Yep.
But we found that was a really tight way. It was too tight. There were just not enough things to do there.
I think one thing we learned from that is maybe we should have come up with like a little bit of a storyline for that.
Right.
So, you know.
I had a thought. It'll come back
You
to
had
me.
a thought? Okay.
It'll come back to me.
I mean, you could have done like a big Muppet thing.
Hey, we could have.
We always joke around about having a confused boner show or like something where you're like,
Mark me
that
down.
turns me on, but I don't know why.
Yeah, mark me down as scared and horny.
Right.
Scorny?
That's one of those horrible feelings, though, when you see something like that. You get turned on by Bugs Bunny or something. You know?
Right.
Bugs
and
Bunny
then
in
it's
drag.
there forever.
Yeah, when
and
he
you're
was
like,
the opera
oh, no.
singer.
Oh, yeah.
That's
It's
being a little too
it's
much
the
of
boob
myself.
chest plate, I know.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. I think it's the pigtails for me personally.
That
And
blonde
Viking
man.
helmet. And the Viking helmet.
That is, though, that's perfect. They're like Marvin the Martian or
Oh
something.
my god.
You know, we probably could get away with Looney Tunes without getting sued.
That would be.
Yeah, probably. They'd be a lot less likely to just.
Or you could like just make sort of a pissed, something close.
I
The
did an
archetype
X-Men
characters.
routine once,
Or like-
and it was up on YouTube for about a year, and then suddenly
It
just
disappeared,
gone.
yeah.
Just copyright
Or like
infringement.
rip-offs of the old knockoff Hanna-Barbera cartoons, like Jabberjaw, which, as everybody knows, was a Scooby-Doo rip-off.
Oh my god, there were like 3 different Scooby-Doos. There's one with the car, there's the Jabberjaw with the shark.
Oh, the
like,
car. What the hell was that car's name?
Oh,
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Oh no.
Speedy?
No. He would just cough a lot.
Yep.
Yeah,
or do the dollar store show where if you ever go into dollar stores,
Christ.
you see these hilarious rip-off names of products.
Oh, my God.
Which are great.
They
It's
are-
like Mountain Dew's the best because it's
Pepsi.
Fountain Mist.
yeah.
The Fountain Mist.
It's like when you go to Spirit of Halloween and look at the like licensed characters costumes. They all have really weird names
I think
instead.
the best one were
Beetle
like
Man.
the sassy seniors for the Golden Girls. Which
Or they just
Well,
say
there's
like
your next Halloween show,
There
Sassy
you go.
Seniors.
Hey.
Or
There's an
Chi-Chi
audience for it.
products.
hey, I will be Dorothy. Do
Hey
not.
man, if we do Sassy Seniors, I can put on a real good
Yeah.
girdle, right?
Or like a John
if
Waters
Rue
thing like
McClanahan
that.
ain't
Some
there, I
people
don't
think
get
John
any-
Waters
No.
is schlocky. And I bet John, he said it cool like that. If you wrote him, I bet he'd probably be not too bad about it.
Yeah, honestly, I think that most companies and musicians, they don't want to like beat down the small artists. We don't make enough money from the show to hurt
Yeah.
the money that they make.
No, and the one thing they should always learn, the thing, any publicity is good publicity.
Right,
But
but
some
some
people
companies
are-
don't subscribe to that.
Yeah, no, they're
And I'm
just
not
about
going to
money.
mention them because they'll come for me, but they know who they are.
Yeah. But these are
No, not
great,
even
like-
them. I was actually thinking other people.
Oh,
But where
yeah.
can we see you now popping up? I know in Simon Stilettos, I used to go to that too.
We do shows at Photo City, but this year we're actually going to be diversifying our audience a little bit. We're going to do some brunches at the Rose and Crown. We're probably going to do Punkapalooza at the Rose and Crown one night. We are in talks with Lux about a couple dates there next year. And we're really kind of hoping that when they come back into season, because I know they're just a seasonal place, that Marges will answer our email so we can do burlesque.
They're
on the
very,
beach.
because I know they're very casual. That's the thing. I think
Yeah.
you almost have to go down there to talk to them because I'll talk to like Fran and say, "When are you opening?" I don't know.
Yeah.
You own the bar. Well, tell me.
We'd love to do burlesque on the beach and get some more fire acts going on.
And I almost think the best thing really would be probably if you just like, stop down and talk to them sometime.
Yeah,
because,
probably.
Because they really do like that. Like I'll send them messages or call them, and they're
They're very mom and pop,
They're
too,
very-
so they're probably not looking at their emails as much as, like, Lux is.
What is
to
this
book.
email shit?
And I have to say about Photo City. Photo City's like a nice little haunted house. It's almost like Captain Spaulding's Murder Ride come to
It's
life.
beautiful. We're definitely still doing some shows there next year, too. We're just ready to, like, meet some new people, and I think sometimes people are a little afraid of the Culver Atlantic journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
As long as I can park, I don't care.
always
Yeah.
talk,
As
always
long
talk
as-
to the theater people.
Tell people
We
that's a
know
big
them.
thing
Yeah.
to say. When you go to Photo City, that's one place. They have ample parking.
Yeah, they have a great parking
Which is
area.
some places don't. Some places you're going around the block like 4 times. So-
Yeah, no,
That's
people
why I
always
don't go
suggest
out.
we should, like, go talk to the people over at Water Street, and I'm like, there's nowhere to
There's
park.
no parking.
There's nowhere to be over there.
All I would say is like State Street. That's about
Yeah,
it.
but that's not enough for a whole.
audience.
Yeah.
Plus the performers.
Yeah, and I think they're going more mainstream.
I think they're trying to go back to reclaiming what they once
Yeah,
were.
so
I hope it works for them. I really hope it
Yeah, I think they're like a sort of answer to the similar thing with Montage, and it's a lot of like that kind of level of shows, like mid-level.
well, I remember like years ago. Actually, I saw Rob Zombie there
Yeah, I've seen a lot
because
of
he
awesome
came. He
acts
was
there.
touring with Ozzy, and he would just stop if he wore his little Santa Claus hat.
I just thought of one. You
What?
go down to the Blue Cross
and
you do a burlesque themed slapshot show.
okay.
The old hockey movie.
Yeah,
Okay.
as long as we can mix a little Mighty Ducks in
Yes.
there.
Oh
I was
yeah,
gonna
Mighty
say.
Mighty Ducks.
Go
meets
to one
Slapshot
of our
meets,
personal favorites. Talk to the
Goon.
Batavia Muck Dogs.
Oh my
They have a
God.
promotion. Minor League Ball. A lot of times will reach out and do different things for audiences.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Burlesque night.
Dude, I guarantee you they'd probably
First 100 people in line get free sets of pasties.
it's a family affair.
dude, they can make them look like the logo.
Oh my
Hey.
God, yes. We should just do something with the Red Wings when they call themselves the Plates.
Please.
Oh lord.
Hey, there you go. Anybody? It's like, it's like 6 degrees separation around here. Somebody knows
We've
somebody.
gotta know
Oh, and
somebody.
they're getting super
know?
tired of the people being like, "This is for families. How dare you do things with the LGBT community?"
Oh, well, they aren't families, are they? You know,
No,
of
not
course
at all.
No.
Yeah, of course they're
They're
not
not people or anything.
I just loved how they snapped back at them on social media. It was great.
I just say, don't be so suburban.
Yeah,
I just ignore it.
listen, Karen.
Well, I had the one. I admit, the one family had the Pride sign up, and I'm like, cool Pride sign. They put a Buffalo Bills sign up. You're brave.
You got to be brave to support a team that basically loses every year.
Yeah. Well, you know the definition of insanity.
Yeah.
Keep you doing the same thing over and over.
Yeah, that
Hope for a different result.
That was every Pittsburgh Pirates fans from
I
1990
say
to
that. I always.
2004.
That comes to
was
mind whenever
there
I
for
vote.
most of it.
I always say that. But this has been. Did you like to come back and talk horror movies? Anything else?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
As
Next
long as
time
you-
we do a horror thing or talking shit thing, we'll get you guys in for
Our
talking
talking
shit.
Oh,
shits
yeah.
about random horror and everything else.
Because
and-
Litvak will go
Yes.
Nazi movies and weird shit.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
got a whole list of
Greg
them.
will come in and talk weirdly old serial movies.
Oh, beautiful. I can.
Oh, you talk whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah,
That's the
that's
whole
good
thing.
shit.
Oh, Vincent
We don't
Price.
really have any like boundaries.
You know what? We really
or-
haven't talked much Vincent Price.
Oh,
on
I
any
just
of
love
We
how
did. We
in-
did a Universal horror
We-
one,
we
but
touched
you could
on-
do. You know, the thing is, when you do those, you can do you could do a
Yeah.
whole year on them.
Yeah,
I'd
there's
like-
so much to say.
I firmly believe we need to do a talking shit on John Hughes movies.
Yes.
Yes.
And then a
Absolutely.
special one for John Candy because
There's some shit to be talked.
Uncle Buck.
Yes.
So very cool. But
Yeah,
this is
we'll be
very
in
good,
touch.
and we'll see you
Yay.
at the.
Oh, yeah.
See you out and about.
Where can
and-
people find you and find info on shows? Where's your social stuff?
You can find us on Facebook at Bewitched Burlesque Sideshow.
And on Instagram,
And on
same
Instagram.
name.
And if you want to follow us, you can follow Pout at Pout Provocateur, and you can find me at Sin O Nymph, and there's little underscores in between.
Our next show is at Photo City. It's the Saturday after Thanksgiving. It's called Eat Me.
Thanksgiving,
Nobody will. They'll be full.
Thanksgiving won't fill you up like we will.
Oh, have you seen? Then have you seen Thanksgiving about the
With the
age-old
turkey?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
so
you are
good.
cool if you know that.
No. Thanksgiving and then Thanksgiving 3, which the whole premise of that movie was they were searching for 2.
Oh my god.
Now, if
never
I
made
was,
it
if
to
I
it.
wanted
Oh my
to be,
God.
if I was a Native American and I wanted vengeance, I know I would call an ancient turkey demon up
Yeah,
to kill
I-
it seems just.
Gobble gobble.
I don't blame
motherfucker.
Thanksgiving was Thanksgiving was great. It was on par with Rubber, where you're just like,
Robert the
what's
Killer Tire.
happening?
Killer
Like,
Tire.
you know what? I
found-
don't know what it is, but I accept it.
He found one Night of the Were Hamster.
No, Night of the Hell Hamster.
Oh, the Hell
No,
Hamster.
Poltergeist.
Oh, I own it.
Poltergeist. That was the fucking shit.
It was so good.
Monsterd. One-eyed monster where the alien comes down and possesses Ron Jeremy's penis.
Yep.
Ginger Dead Man.
I love movies where Ron Jeremy is just an actor and
He's just there.
like
Evil
Orgasmo.
Bong.
Evil Bong
Oh,
versus
yeah.
Ginger Dead Man.
That was
Yeah.
good.
Oh, you two are naturals for this.
Oh, absolutely.
We'll bring you down for the trauma special.
I
yes, please.
Well, I'll be in touch. Get in touch with you and everything. So
So there you go. Find him on social media. Go to a show. You'll laugh.
You'll cry.
Don't
You'll
bring the
Cry.
kids.
You might get splashed with blood.
Hopefully it's blood.
and they always come up with something really cool too. So
Yeah, definitely come check us out. We'll be at Photo City the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
and I'm going to play actually our old friend Frank Ashcroft, who's
Frank!
part of the thing and part of our D&D and you did with the show with them,
Mm-hmm.
and he hasn't been able to come on here yet because he's busy with all that stuff. But I was going to play from Jan the actress. I was going to play Prom Queen because it seems like
Yay,
you would go
yes.
perfect with that.
Oh, we love Jan the actress.
Yes, we do.
And so do we. And you should dress up and become like a Monty Python character. You should be Jan the actress because actually, I don't think Eric or any of them wear dresses. I know Cara. You know,
I could probably get a pretty sexy beard going and
Yeah.
be Eric.
We can manage.
Excellent.
and on
How's
that,
you doing?
thanks a lot.
Thank you for having
Thank you.
us.